Cool. All right. Welcome to Petite Professionals. Today we have Kari. Welcome. Thank you for being a guest.
Thank you for having me, Natalie. I'm excited to be here.
Yay. So, what is your current title?
So, right now, for the next, I guess, until the 31st, I am Miss Minnesota Galaxy. I've decided now I've been competing in pageantry now for 8 years straight. And so now I've officially decided I'm taking a year off just to enjoy my 20s a little bit, just because I have been in pageantry my entire adult life since 2 weeks after I turned 18. So I've never really not been preparing or prepping for a pageant or actively competing in a pageant. So I'm going to take some time off, but until August 31st, which is when my title expires because I'm an at-large title holder, I'm Miss Minnesota Galaxy.
And previously, you were USOA's Miss Wisconsin, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yes. I was previously a USOA Miss Wisconsin.
That's awesome. And you made top five at Galaxy,
Yes,
right?
I made top five at Galaxy. I placed third runner up last Saturday, a week ago. So that was amazing for my first time coming to Galaxy. It was a really, really fun experience. Enjoyed the entire week. It was a pageant that I felt like I could truly enjoy. Our schedules weren't super crammed. There was downtime for me to actually eat full meals, which was amazing. Us in pageantry, we know how jam-packed pageant week schedules can be. So it was nice to have that downtime. I was actually able to go to Disney Springs with my family, which is something I never would have imagined having been able to do at any other pageant system that I've competed in. So that was a really fun experience. And then when I was USOA Miss Wisconsin, I ended up placing top six there as well. So
Awesome.
yeah, pageant journey has been really fun.
I love Disney Springs. It's so
It
much
is
fun.
so fun. I love to shop, and there's some really good restaurants there. I had a really good fried chicken sandwich. So that was nice to decompress away from pageant life
Yeah.
and pageant hotels. So
And the
yeah,
magic of Disney.
exactly. I feel like Disney just solves a lot of problems.
Yes, yes. Good mindset, like space to reset. So your career actually ties into pageantry, right?
It
So
does. Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I graduated from the University of Minnesota in 2023 with my bachelor's in journalism. And I knew through having various internships, I didn't really want to go into traditional journalism. And so my senior year, I ended up interning with Victoria's Secret Pink and Barstool Sports. So I had two huge like social media type internships. And through those, I was able to learn a lot about social media and realized how much my degree and what I was learning in school was really overlapping with the world of social media. And I was like, wait, I can do this as a career. And so post grad, I ended up going the direction of working in marketing because primarily social media jobs will fall under the umbrella of marketing. And right out the gate, I got a job at a bank, and bank life, not for me. Shout out to the people who work in banking. I found it to be compared to where I was and what I was doing within those internships, going into a corporate banking role was boring, to put it
Yeah.
quite blanket. But after that, I ended up finding the job that I have now, which is at Anagram International, which is a international balloon company. So I work for a balloon manufacturer now, and my job is a lot of fun. I create and do all of our social content, all of our influencer partnerships. So a couple big names that I've worked with, we've worked with Paris Hilton's decorator. There's influencers in the balloon world. So the decorator who did Paris Hilton's birthday, I was the one who sent all of those balloons over to her. The Kelseys, Jason and Kylie Kelsey, back when Kylie was hosting all of the Eagles' wives over, we were sending all of that balloon product to decorate with. And same with the Philadelphia Eagles. So when the Philadelphia Eagles went to the Super Bowl, all of the product used, I was sending to the decorator for this huge Super Bowl party at in Philadelphia. So I get to do a lot of fun things like that, and all of my skills overlap, and just kind of getting that understanding and that base knowledge from Victoria's Secret Pink and Barstool Sports taught me what I really, that's those two roles is really where I excelled and realized that this was something that I wanted to do. And taking those skills and on top of it, not only learning through my corporate career, but also learning through pageantry because I had just graduated and then went on to win USOA Miss Wisconsin after moving back to Wisconsin. And so, having also that kind of creative freedom to continue to build on my skills, knowing what to post, kind of taking what I've learned and really applying it in more of a creative way outside of my corporate role through pageantry was really beneficial to my own learning. And now, through all of that, I now teach queens how to learn these skills through my brand and organization, Star Social, which is where I teach pageant queens how to utilize social media and best represent themselves on a digital platform because social media is such a big part of pageantry anymore. It's how we're growing systems, it's how we're discovering systems. So making sure your social media presence is top tier is what I'm helping queens do.
Giving them some social etiquette, and I love
Yes.
it. And I know, so I've never competed at USOA, but I've seen when you go to nationals, it's very social media heavy.
Mhm.
So that you have a lot of experience, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah, it was it for me. I always describe it. It was a lot of fun, but I was going from my corporate 9 to 5, planning all of our social media content, creating all that content, and then going home and doing the exact same thing, but in a more creative way for pageantry type things.
Mhm.
Like for USOA, we do a lot of partner posts when we're at nationals. You're doing multiple partner posts a day. And so before we went, we got a whole list of every sponsor that was going to be giving us product that we had to post about. So I went through and planned out every single piece of content that I was going to be posting, if it needed to be filmed, what it was going to be, photos, everything, captions down to the wire, so that all I really had to do was just shoot it and post it. Like took out a lot of the work so I could still really enjoy that experience. And that's what I tell the queens that I coach is you want to make it as easy for yourself as possible, and that's just planning. Planning ahead is what's going to make you successful always.
And you want to make time for Disney Spring, so
Exactly, exactly.
so okay, if someone's watching this and they're wanting to get a degree in marketing and do something similar to you, what do you wish someone would have told you or some advice you would give?
Marketing and like the world of social media is really a career path where you learn on the job. It's not something where you're in school, you're going to know it and you're going to get into your job and you're going to be like, I know everything, like I'm going to be successful. It's very much a learn on the job type of career. And so I was grateful to have the internship experiences that I did because I wouldn't be as well versed as I am if I didn't have those internships. So being able to get your foot in the door with a company that's going to one support you, both Barstool and Victoria's Secret were super supportive, gave us resources, trying to find a internship or career type position that is willing to teach you and willing to wait for you to be able to learn these things so that you can be successful because it's very much a long-term type of career path if that makes sense because you're constantly learning and with marketing and especially social media, it's always changing. So always making sure you're staying on top of things, you're keeping yourself updated so you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely social media is so different from, so I'm 37, and when I started Facebook, I was a freshman in college, and like it's just so different. You had to be in college to go on Facebook.
Hmm.
And then I liked what you mentioned about internships because I originally thought I wanted to be an art teacher, and I
Hmm.
did an internship, and I hated it. So, but it's so good to like get those internships and see what's a right fit, and
Yeah.
it's very important to do, I
Yeah,
think.
I interned at a radio station and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but when I was there, I was like, I do not want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, this is not something I envision myself doing long term. Like, this is definitely like, put it on the resume. I did it. Here it
Mhm.
is. I can use references from this. It
And
was
now you're
a it was a great experience learning the audio side and the copywriting side of like journalism because it would have been going out or into my sophomore year, I want to say. I don't honestly remember. I feel I'm not that old, but I'm like, it was a long time ago now. So much has
you've had
happened
a lot
since
go on.
then. I'm like, anyways, it was sometime around my sophomore year of college, and being in that radio station, I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And I thought when I went into journalism that I was going to work for, I was going to write. Like, I was like, I'm going to write, I'm going to take writing courses, I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to work for some big wig magazine or newspaper company like New York Times. Like, that's the end goal. And then when I was like in there, and I still kept an open mind. I was not very narrow-minded. I was like, wherever I end up, I end up.
Mhm.
And I realized how much I hated hated writing. And I don't necessarily hate it. I shouldn't say that, but it
It wasn't
wasn't
for
something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Because I'm like,
you.
I don't want to be boxed into this, and then this is like all my experiences in writing. So like I can only get a job in writing, like that type of thing. I didn't want to box myself in that way. So I tried to get as many various experiences that I could because with my journalism degree, I was learning video editing, audio editing, photography, videography. I was learning all of that stuff while I was in school. And so there are so many different jobs and internships that you can get related to those skills to build on those skills. So I tried and went around and found as many things as I possibly could, working for big brands like Victoria's Secret Pink and Barstool. But then I was also working for a small pet company located in the Minneapolis area. So I was doing their social media as well. I was working and doing social media for our now my in my hometown. Our sheriff was running for election, and so I was helping him with his social media. It was
Oh,
his first
fun.
campaign, and then he went and won, which was really cool. So I got to put that on my resume as well. But it was like both big and small experiences are important regardless because you get more of that interpersonal connection with those smaller brands, but then your bigger businesses are able to provide you the resources that you need to get you to an even better point career-wise. So I think it's definitely and like everybody wants to work for a big recognizable brand, but the thing is you want to work for those small brands as well, so you have that vast amount of
The
experience.
experience. No, that's awesome. You're giving such wonderful advice. So thank you so much. Okay, so I want to know if any pageant girls are watching and they want to work with you, is the best way to contact you on your Instagram or how do you want people to contact you?
Yeah, you can actually book directly through starsocial.org. I built and created my whole website. I offer a bunch of different packages based on need. If you see something and you're like, wait, I need this specific thing and it's only partially offered, just shoot me a message. You can contact me any social media platform. I'll respond, but you can book directly through starsocial.org.
I'll make sure to put that in the
Yeah.
comment or whatever description.
Comment, caption, description, all of it. So many different places for links to go anymore.
Yeah, it's like depending on where you are, what social media you.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with petite professionals?
Hmm. I guess my last piece of advice would be to try and get as many experiences as you can while you have the opportunity to get those experiences, especially through high school and college. Me starting out in high school, I thought I wanted to be at first a dermatologist. And then I was like, that's a lot of school and I'm not good at math or science. Like, play to your strengths, play to your strengths. I'll tell you that much. I ditched dermatology and thought I wanted to go into teaching. I did like a shadow study and was like, yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then when I got into college, so I've been in your shoes, Natalie. I did it. But going into college and trying, like finding and hunting, sitting down and spending the time, because any of those experiences, regardless of if you enjoyed it or not, are going to benefit you long term. You're always going to learn something from any professional experience you have, whether it's an internship or a serving job or whatever it is. You're going to learn something and you're going to walk away with it and be like, okay, yeah, maybe that wasn't for me, but I learned this. So
Mhm.
taking in as many experiences as you can is super important when you have the opportunity to and the freedom to through high school and college. So I really recommend just trying new things, trying things you may be interested in, just hitting apply. Even if they say no, you'd be like, well, I tried. Because I
Mhm.
mean, I've gotten my fair share of rejection from jobs, things like that. It took me around 6 months before I finally got my job at Anagram. Like I was hunting and looking for something that was going to fit me and what I wanted. And it took me 6 months to find that. Like it does take time in the job market now. I know it. I've been in it. It's not great, but just keep applying, keep pushing for those experiences and for that expertise that you really need because a lot of those companies are looking for people working in marketing and working in social media who have those creative minds. So don't let somebody tell you differently. I've had that in my career as well. So just make sure that you keep pushing for you, and keep those creative juices flowing because they're only going to benefit you.
I love that. No, and so I wanted to be a buyer so bad. Like I worked in retail, I still work in retail, but I wanted to be a buyer so bad. I was like, I want to be the decision maker. I want to pick out the product. And then I got to
Mhm.
be a buyer at Shopco, and it wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to
That's
be.
what happens. That's why you got to have those experiences because otherwise you'd never know. I didn't start off right off the bat in journalism in school. I started off in public relations. And so from public relations, I took one PR class or two or three. It was like two or three, and was like, I hate this. Like, it was fun because you're getting to problem solve, you're getting to rebuild like companies' visions and like brand and like all these other things. But then my professor was like, yeah, you're never going to get credit for this. And I was like, what? Like we solve all these problems and I don't even get the recognition. Like
Hmm.
nobody's gonna even know. Like I'm gonna have to like explain this if I go to a different company to working at a
Yeah.
different, I'm gonna have to explain everything that I fix because PR people are basically problem solvers essentially. And after that, I was like, absolutely not. I want something more versatile and
Hmm.
discovered journalism and kind of everything that you could really do with a journalism degree. And at that point, like, I mean, TikTok was starting to take off a little bit, and I had been on it for, I was the one telling all my friends to download it, and they're like, no, you're weird. I was that friend, which I'm like, wow, that really fits me now that I work in social media. But finding something that was like, you don't always get it on the first shot, and that's okay. Like you can go back to school. My brother has gone back to school. He started off, went to school for teaching, taught for 2 years, and now he's going back to school and he just graduated with a completely different degree and he's going to take over our family business. Sometimes you
Awesome.
don't always get it on the first shot. That's okay. Everybody's life plan is different. And the one person I always remind myself of is Vera Wang. Vera Wang didn't design her first wedding dress or have her first successful wedding dress until she was in her 50s. So
Wasn't
like
she an ice skater?
yeah, she was something, but she didn't have like success with like her fashion brand until she was in her 50s, which I'm like everybody's path is different and sometimes you're not always going to get success on the first shot and that's okay. I mean,
Hmm.
pageantry is the same way. You don't always win on your first try. Like I didn't win this past week. That's okay. Like I'm going to take it, I'm going to learn from it and corporate world and working world is the exact same. You're not always going to get it on your first try and that is okay.
Yes, 100%. I agree. I'm actually back in school to become
Oh,
a therapist.
congratulations. Congratulations. That's so exciting.
But yeah, so I went to school for art, and then now because of life's journeys and what I've learned, I'm like, you know what? I think I should be a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's a process to find what you want to do and sometimes what you're even passionate about. I mean, you make these decisions when you're 18 years old and like I'm 24 now. And looking back, I'm like, how did I even what? How is that okay to be like, hey, 18-year-old, you need to make a decision what you're gonna do for the rest of your life? And it's like, okay. And like some people know, which is amazing. Like good for you. I was like, I don't know. And I didn't figure out where I actually wanted to go with my degree. That's why I went for something that was more versatile because I knew I had the skills to be able to find a job in multiple different fields. So even though I didn't know where I wanted to end up, it was kind of like a safety net degree in a way
Yeah.
because there were so many opportunities with it. And I'm glad I chose the path that I did because it is something that I really love and do enjoy doing. I love to edit videos, I love photo editing, like all of the things. And so playing to my strengths that way was my first step is like I can be good at this. Like this is something I'm not good at math or science. I never have been. I don't think I ever will be. I pay somebody to do my taxes. Like it's not I'm not doing it. But the but playing to my strengths and I figured out like, oh, I like social media. I like video editing. I like consuming all this pop culture. I used
Hmm.
that as my strength, and now that is how I got to where I am now, where I'm able to teach people the skills that I learned, teach them about trends, how to identify those trends, and how to use them in my day-to-day life. Because I'm the one that's in front of a camera for my corporate job, doing the tutorials on our different products and doing the funny videos on people, for example, this is a random example, but we have this balloon that's a perfect circle and people will inflate it and it'll have wrinkles on it. And it's like the number one thing is like you inflate it until until you have no wrinkles. It's a balloon. And so I will make funny videos. I come up with funny videos to like talk about how these should have no wrinkles on them. And so the latest video that I did, I have another one coming up in the schedule for September that I just scheduled the other day, but it was to a Tyra Banks audio yelling about how like, stop it. I'm yelling at you because I love you or whatever the audio is. And it's me holding this balloon. Like that's the type of stuff that I'm doing. Like it's silly, but it's like that was a trending audio at the time and that video is sitting, it's our most viewed reel of all time on our Instagram page. And so it's things like that, like staying on top of those trends and being able to recognize those things is super important. So playing to my strengths has really benefited me.
One of my favorite, so I'm pretty sure she's one of your clients. This past USOA Miss Wisconsin, she did a
Sage.
video where she's like going to change a tire, but she doesn't know how to change a tire.
Oh, that was all her. I can't take credit for that. That was all her.
I watched that so many times.
Oh, I was dying when she posted that. I texted her. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I wish I had told you to do this.
My
Like,
name's not
it was so
Stacy.
good. It was so good. And I always tell my clients, like, that type of video was doing really well on social media at the time. And what I tell my clients is to be good at social media, you have to spend time on social media. Like, you're going to see more videos. You're going to be like, wait, that's funny. I can recreate that. And like twisting it around in your brain and figuring it out how you can repurpose it, like for pageant purposes, like how Sage did that. Like that was a trend for businesses and brands to do, be like, hi, I'm so and so, and I don't know how to change a tire. Like my name isn't so and so, like whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. But like spending time on social media, seeing those trends and then adapting them to your own needs is like one of the most important things I tell my clients because you're never going to do well on social media if you don't spend time on it. And that's the thing with anything. Like if you're not spending time practicing basketball, you're not going to be good at basketball. And like just spending time on social media and consuming that media is really what benefits you in the long run because I can teach you things and I can tell you, hey, this is trending, but you're not going to believe me unless you're on social media consuming that type of media.
And then willing to put in the time and work to do it
Exactly. The effort, setting up your tripod, embarrassing yourself in a public space, like it happens. Like just being comfortable, setting up your camera. And thankfully, we live in a digital world now where it's very normal to just set up a tripod and start filming. Like nobody really
too.
bats an eye too much anymore. At least where I live in Minneapolis, nobody's like, oh, why is she filming? Like the Minnesota State Fair is happening this weekend. We get influencers from all over the US coming into the Minnesota State Fair. And so it's very normal to see someone with their phone stuck to a wall or for someone to set up a tripod or someone to be filming somebody else. Like nobody really bats an eye at it anymore, especially in the digital age. And it's just like it's kind of like exposure therapy. You just got to do it and you just got to keep doing it. And the thing is what's going to result of it is amazing content regardless. Like it's
Yeah,
going to be
no,
great.
you're right. Like there's like selfie museums now, right? Like where you can go.
Yes.
So it's very it's pretty normal to see.
It's very normal. It's very normal. Like getting out there and just doing it and practicing at it and be like, okay, this wasn't good. Like, I'm not going to post it. Or you can post it and be like, okay, I tried. Like, it's a learning experience. Like, I look back at some of my old stuff from my old internships. I'm like, why did I do that? Like, that was not. And it happens. Like, now you learn from it, you grow from it. Like, looking at content I started at to where I am now and the content that I'm creating it's crazy to see. And it's nice to have all of this digital diary of everything that I've always done because it's there forever. And
Once you
so
growing and
yes. And so it's like, okay, here's where I started, here's where I'm at now. And I'm able to like show that to people of like, okay, look at here's how my USOA reign started with my social media content. Here's where it ended. And now here's what I did with my Miss Minnesota Galaxy account. Here's how I grew that. Like I was thinking about it this morning before our call. With my Miss Minnesota Galaxy account, I have now pageant connections for all over the US and all over the world too. I'm like UK, Ireland, Bahamas, and it's not just Galaxy girls, it's other queens and other systems. So having those connections through social media is so important because I'm able to talk to girls and discover other pageant systems that may be big over in the UK and they have a small pageant here in the US, but I would have never known about it because it's a small pageant here in the US, but it's huge overseas. So it's things like that that social media gives us that we otherwise wouldn't have.
yeah, no, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for all your time and all your wisdom.
Yes,
And
thank you for
I'll make
having
sure
me.
to post in the description your contact information. And are you going to watch the game today?
What game?
Packers.
Oh,
No.
no. I
Oh,
okay,
you're in.
random side fact about me. I do not like professional sports other than the Olympics. I think it's very boring and there's no stakes. Like, okay, college ball, I love college ball. I love college football. I love everything, right? Because there's stakes to it. You get to the NFL, you make a bunch of money, or you go to the NBA, whatever.
Yeah,
But you with pro sports, I feel like they don't
they're already
try.
there.
And
Yeah.
like whenever I say that, especially to a man, they're like, "You're insane," and I'm like, "Okay, but." Think about it. Think about it. It's true. And so I'm not the biggest pro sports fan. I love college ball though because I went to the
You're
University of
working
Minnesota.
towards.
So yeah, going to game day is like a special attachment to it, hanging out with friends, enjoying that environment. But
Yeah.
I live like 20 minutes from US Bank Stadium. So if I wanted to go to a Vikings game, I could. But I don't know. Green is not really my color, I won't lie. I'm more like I go off of colors, which people are like, the first question I got when I moved back up here after moving back to Wisconsin after I graduated was, "Are you a Packer fan?" And I'm like, "I'm a fan of nobody, to be honest." People are so confused when I say that. I'm like, "I'm not, I go by the color. Like, I
Mhm.
love purple, so I'll wear purple. Green, not really my color, but gold, I'll wear gold. So, like, if it's gold base with some green accents, sure, sign me up." Like I base it off of clothing, which people are like, "You're insane," but it's fine. It's it's the way I work.
I love it. Well, I hope you have a lovely Saturday.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you so much for having me. I'll be watching the rest of Petite Professionals. I can't wait to see everybody else, and I can't wait to watch you at Petite USA
Yes, next summer.
next summer. Next, you have a whole year. You got so much time.
Well, I
You have so
competed
much
in
time.
2024 and I took a year off. And so,
Yeah.
like, I had that time to prep. So now
Now you're coming back
I'm
full
coming
speed
back.
ahead. The train is not slowing down. I can't wait. It's gonna be so exciting. I'm so excited for your journey. I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you. All right, I'll
Um,
see you later.
thank you, Natalie. Bye.